There's a huge difference between stacking and actual teamwork. Today I'm going to show you why playing too close can get you team wiped, and more importantly, how to use the flank tactic to create the pinch.
Uh-oh, you guys got embarrassed.
Let me explain. The tactical approach starts all the way back here. Pink is breach, actively engaging the map ping below. Blue is supporting the push from the roof. Green is the overwatch role and taking a tactical angle into the window from a distance. Once I see the tracer rounds from the window, I anticipate the stack push towards our breach. My role is the flank, so we drop in to secure the fallback, checking the hot zones of the doors. Once we make contact on hot zone sweep number 2, we see that Overwatch is being overrun from behind. As the flank position, my job is to apply opposing pressure to the breach. Support is there to maintain any escapees from the squeeze. As I advance into the room, I spot enemy 2 mantling the window. I'm taking advantage of their distraction by securing the doorway and spot enemy number 3. The 2 enemies have thirsted breach and intend to res knock 1, except I have pinched from the opposite view. I've slammed enemy 2, swap weapons to drop enemy 3, thirsting him, then thirsting knock 1, and then back to knock 2. Meanwhile, the support role has dropped down to trade any that I couldn't handle. This is the most important team tactic you will learn, and I call it formation fighting. 2 aggressive players and 2 defensive players. In today's situational report, I'm going to break down how I flank enemies in various scenarios, as well as knowing when to change from the flank role back into the Overwatch and support roles. If you enjoy the video, hit the like button and subscribe if you're new so you don't miss a single one of my guides. You want to have a tactical drop plan or landing together when you're taking control of a POI. You want all of your teammates preferably in the same area so that if another team lands with you, you have the ability to take them out. Once you've controlled the POI, we want to be focusing all of our efforts towards getting the money as fast as possible. I talk about this a lot because an uncoordinated drop leads to a severely inconsistent early game. And you need to have control of the POI and focus getting your share of that loadout money and coordinating where you're buying so that you can have it as fast as possible. I always give students the goal of 2 minutes. And if you are really, really smooth with this tactic, you can actually lower it to less than a minute. As you can see here, we got it to 56 seconds, and I didn't even have to use the card to get it. Once we get our equipment, we are going to aggressively push living quarters. We're going to take the high ground and then swing out towards the open. We see a player flying in. We're able to knock him out of the sky, and we have multiple dots inside of lime, including a visual in the front of yellow. So rotating to the back side of that curvature gives us the ability to flank any players that are trying to already flank us. We're not giving away the cover, and if you notice, green is still in the Overwatch position holding back at blue house. I'm going to creep up the steps. I know this blind spot's dirty, and he definitely gets the shots on me. Yellow's there to support that roll, though, and trade. The enemy doesn't get the kill, and we clear that building. Now we're forcing our way up towards Limehouse. We have a full team of dots in there, upper level, but there's another team here in red. I don't have a visual, so I'm going to push out and then wrap so that I have a better flank of red. And I see these 2 guys here, so I push the one that's in the open and then get back inside of Limehouse so that I don't get shot by the second. He's still on top of the doorway. I'm getting out of his line of sight, and I'm looking for the dots on the minimap here. I'm rotating around the backside of the house, and I'm able to take out one. Vehicles rolling up behind us, and there's still players in Limehouse. In fact, I think it's my teammate shooting into the window, so I jump out to get a better angle. And that was a grave mistake because that was the same enemy that was there when I was in Limehouse. Mistakes happen. There's an overwhelming amount of information, but what we're going to do with that death is take the opportunity to get information. We got killed by the guy that was all the way over here in tents, who's once again creating a support role for his teammates. So we're going to fall back with Sloth, who's playing the Overwatch position at this point, but we see him engage buy station. So we're not going to drop completely on him because we could be completely outnumbered. Just in case there's 4, I'm landing towards the outside here. I don't see anyone, but Gas is pushing our 2 teammates and also anybody else that's in living quarters down to us. So I need to be aggressive with my loot, and I'm going to go towards the buy station while letting my team defend my reentry. While we're buying that loadout, the snake is on the overwatch position. He is watching grandmas. If they were trying to push down towards our loadout purchase, they're communicating that they're in water tower and closer to us on the ridge. We have a bounty that's also on the edge of prison and a visual on the top of the rock. So I'm going to go close, use the crest of the terrain. No immediate resurgence pings, but there are UAV pings on prison and Summit Chemical. We have a visual on helipad, and I'm communicating that to the team as well. We are fanned out in a formation push towards Chemical. Helipad has a visual on our position, and we get an audio cue on the back door that there's a player landing in. We take him out. We move back inside. That gunfire is going to draw the tin roof audio cue that we're getting from above, as well as a low push. I grab the napalm, ready to clear the roof, and we are getting lethal from the bottom here.
Sir.
And this is what's really important is as we're picking our targets through that room, I'm not right up on top of the gunfire, and I'm able to juke outward and stop the enemy from shooting Sloth. I'm able to drop him, but if you notice where Sloth is, he's completely flanked around the box to support that while I was taking out the enemy. And these small little details are what give us the ability to protect our downs and get enemy teams off of each other. Once again, we have a new enemy that pushed Sloth. I'm backing off the fight, replating, giving time for Yellow to get back up. And now Yellow and I are pushing the random together. We're not all on top of each other. We're not on the same level. There's not a 4-man squish ready for an unsuspecting team because we're giving ourselves all of those angles throughout all of these firefights to win more easily. So now we're going to push a new team. We get a UAV, and they are clearly in bio. We send a streak, communicate that we're pushing that area, pick up a fresh bounty, and then we're going to pinch the top of the building after we get a little bit of information. We say they're in the steps. We see the snake is going low, and we are going to zip high, but we see one jump out low left, and then we decide we're going to support from the bottom. Last minute effort to support the snake. We have multiple on first floor. So I'm flanking through the basement, see if I can come up and surprise an enemy. I did as he ran down to get away. Unfortunately, the smoke breaks all of my aim, but Yellow is able to finish the enemy and then res me shortly after. We're regrouping, we're resetting all of our plates and ammo, and now we're ready to repush again. We have a visual confirmed on second floor, entry of the window, so we are going to find a new way to get to that level. Shots on the backside. We are pushing for the defense, remembering still we have second floor threat. New shots, bottom floor. Throws, gas grenade. I jump backwards out, pinch over to the opposite side, and flank, taking out the enemy very quickly. Second floor, we're going to push him finally. He's got toys in here, but he has a nice white Godzilla costume, which is easy to spot. Confirmed second floor elimination with the team. Things are starting to calm down at bio, but they're not completely safe yet. So I'm looking for new intel. We know we have chemical, industry, and prison as likely candidates. Guy named Movement claims to be the one, lands in, drops a teammate, but has no information on the push and ends up getting embarrassed. As the circle is collapsing in this 30 seconds before it does, this is the time where you need to coordinate which way you're going to go. When we start talking about going to chemical, definitely going to be the endgame power position, thanks to the majority of it being in circle. We still have a threat, though, that is trying to push us, and industry, which is trying to hold. We clear the roof, we see the fresh fly-in, and we aggressively push that enemy and get them out of the game. We have a ton of money, and we need to get the Sloth back in, but we also need to do it safely. Snake does so from the back by. This is where that Overwatch mentality is there, is I'm in the position to hold the rotation from this guy with the sniper. To communicate that, Yellow's already made it across. I'm still holding. They're going to try and flush us off the building with the precision airstreak. I want these rotating dots from industry. I'm trying to apply pressure. Pink makes it out. He rotates towards the shed, but I see Green is down here tanking his mask for the rotation. So I move out to the support role, catches assailant, drop him, apply pressure for the res, not able to take him out in the smoke. but I'm thinking about where does he have to go. We see him on the bottom. He's very slippery, uses his toys, keeps us off. He goes into that room and I immediately think, where would I go if I were him? I would go up the steps and then flank over that second level towards us. I leave Snake to push from the opposite angle, but I set up the pinch from this side. And sure enough, I find him on the top level, hiding in the boxes. Get a voice comm that they're in the tunnel and I hear footsteps. So I decide to move upstairs to a safer rotation, and unfortunately the two from the helipad catch me off guard. If you notice, in the meantime, pink and yellow have gone to the roof of chemical to support our late rotate. Snake is able to make it through the tunnel, and now we're set up for a buyback. Once back in the game, I'm being mindful of the streak as well as where I should land. I see that Snake is knocked in the bottom. He's selfing, and I'm covering his backside rotation, putting shots on the enemy and communicating that, watching the circle slide and listening for audio cues. See the dots on tunnel. 2 teams left. Last guy, and looking at the circle, there's 4 of us, and this tactic I like to do quite frequently when we outnumber the enemy, is I like to push in and poke them and just get them to force their way out of hiding. Looking low, he's on top of the box. I communicate that. I back off the fight, put a couple shots into him, and get him to give away his position so that my teammates can take him out. The point of today's video was to give you my perspective on the flank roll and how to use those angles to squeeze or pinch with your teammate. If you enjoy the content, don't forget to like and subscribe. And like I always say, keep building, keep adapting. Sit rip out.